The family that vacations together stays together. At least, that was the plan. Except now, the dastardly desk clerk is saying he can't confirm your connecting rooms.
Wait, what?
That's right, ma'am. You have rooms 201 and 709.
No, we cannot be 5 floors away from our kids.
The doors have double locks. They'll be fine.
When you want connecting rooms confirmed before you arrive, it matters where you stay.
Welcome to Hilton. I see your connecting rooms are already confirmed.
Hilton, for the stay.
Hey, this is William Tincup and Ryan Leary, and you are listening and watching Inside the C-Suite. We have Craig on today. Craig, how you doing? How's your day?
Fantastic. It's a wonderful day for being Wednesday.
I feel like Greg has never had a bad day in his life.
No, Craig is...
That's kind of how I feel.
We've all had bad days.
He looks like he's more of an optimist than a pessimist, though. In
100%.
pre-show, I think we pretty much got there.
Yeah.
He's definitely a glass half full. I was about to say it the opposite way.
Half empty.
Half empty.
He's the best optimist we have.
He broke the glass. Yeah, totally understand. Tell us what you're doing right now, Craig. What's the job? What are you doing?
Oh, we do a lot of things. The biggest thing that I'm doing right now that I'm most excited about is I've got a company called Cyberbacker where we do staffing. We hire people internationally,
right?
Primarily from the Philippines to work with small business owners. Because what we found is that, especially during the pandemic, it got hard to hire people. And if you look at especially small businesses, what they can afford to hire someone, they can't pay the most. And when you look at the help they need, that's usually when they need the most help. And so that's what we do.
So have you always been in staffing? Did you come up through the staffing world?
Gosh, no. I've always been
There's an element of disdain in that.
No, I never would have thought, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Like, I love it, and don't get me wrong.
Right.
At the same time, like going ahead and I'm a guy that loves business. I'm a fan of the entrepreneur. And that's been my family members and stuff. And we kind of learned by watching, and I watched my stepdad and my mom figure out how she could go ahead and help him with the accounting and the books in his construction business. And that's just a recipe for fighting with your spouse.
Yeah. That's a big no.
Yeah.
Do it. I'm always, in fact, we interviewed somebody a couple of months ago, and her and her husband do the bit together.
Yeah. Like 16 years. I'm like,
first of all, congrats. I couldn't do it. My wife and I are so polar opposites that we'd spend time dealing with the opposite stuff rather than actually moving the business forward.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a quick survey. If you asked your wife or husband or whatever, like, what you do for a living, mine will not know what I do.
Oh, no, mine wouldn't either.
Yeah.
No.
She's just like, you're in the basement. That's all
You're
she knows.
on the computer. You're doing stuff on the computer.
So I've got the other answer, single guy.
Oh,
man.
That's awesome. You made it.
Well,
you made it.
I've got my son. If you ask him what I do, because he's probably the human I'm the closest with, he's 8. He still has no idea.
None whatsoever. No.
And I think when you go ahead and you're going to grow something big, I've still got friends that message me like, "Oh,
you
just always there. You don't."
Can you build me a website?
Yeah. Can you give me a computer? So my grandma, can you give me with saying this when I go to a website? I'm going.
Just log in.
Cyber in the title.
Yeah.
Why is the clock blinking 12?
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to when you were maybe high school.
Mm-hmm.
What did you want to be?
I was pretty passionate about and pretty good at electrical work because my dad and grandpa were electricians.
Oh, wow.
So I actually started working when I was 8, hauling hay because horses, and that was it. And then my grandpa, because he had been on his own since he was 14, he taught me how to work. And so he had an electrical company. I was washing vans, making coffee, being the janitor, sorting the parts, and doing those things that just – he wanted to give me a good work ethic.
And you got one.
That's that. And I thought that's what I'm going to do. That's the family business. And my parents are great. They just never went ahead and explored the conversation. Hey, what if you could be more in this world?
Right.
And so I was a late bloomer. And
Right.
I just thought, well, I'm going to go be an electrician, so I really don't need to pay attention in school. And why would I need to go to college?
Yeah, I don't need to learn English. I got it. Yeah.
No. And then I had people wake me up to the fact that there's other things in this world, and that my grandpa, he wasn't an electrician, he was a business owner. And my dad was a business owner, my stepdad. And I kind of went, well, so this is what they do. That's what's kind of in my DNA and my blood. It's just, I didn't realize that's what they did or how they did it.
Right.
And it became a passion when I started to study business and understand what made it work, what didn't work. And then just, going down that road, looking at mostly through family failures because I was closer to those.
Right.
And just saying, what do I never want to have happen again for anyone else?
Now, where you said that you were working farm?
Yeah,
Where did
horses?
Where did you grow up?
Well, right here where I'm at, which is Ogden, Utah, which everywhere in Utah, we're known for polygamy. That's not really a thing, but people think it is. So it's kind of fun when you're single and say, well, I just can't decide how many wives I want to tell you I have.
100%.
But
He's
no,
just like, I got 0. I'm good.
well, that and everyone else is pioneers, religious
Yep.
pioneers escaping persecution. And Ogden, where I'm from, we're a train station town. We were the main center point when you were coming through across the United States. You had to come from Ogden, Utah. So we had bars, brothels, and speakeasies during Prohibition.
Yes.
And that's what made our wonderful city famous.
Yes.
So we're like the opposite of the rest of the Utah. We've got farm, we've got stuff like that, but it's not a big thriving mecca. I'm not from some city.
So you stayed. Most people, once they get to a certain place, they leave.
Yeah. I don't want to say I'm a small town farm boy.
No, I understand.
But kind of at my core, I'm
John Cougar Milk Camp. Totally understand.
Yeah.
Got it. Wow. It's funny. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they recanted about Salt Lake City proper. For the first time in its history, there's more non-Mormons than Mormons.
Yeah.
It's like,
whoa, interesting.
That's that. I mean, because if you ever fly into Salt Lake, nothing's open late. Like it's like
Sunday.
Boston. Or on Sunday. It's like Boston in that sense. Like there's nothing open past like 9.
Yeah.
Like it's like this is a huge city. Like I just want a sandwich.
Yeah.
Nothing's open.
No.
But all that's changing. Like it's going through a revitalization. Is crazy.
Yeah, it's a change. A lot of stuff's happened here that people don't know about. So because we're talking about my cool background, this building belonged to John Browning Firearms. This was
very cool.
This building. And next door, I've got a venue that was this test fire range. But this is the building where the 50 caliber machine gun was invented. And so when I started learning about the rich history here, I stayed close to home because I thought if people can make it here, I can make it here.
Browning's one of my son's heroes. He's
awesome.
Wants to be a weapons engineer. So when he was applying to colleges, that's what he says. Like at Thomas Edison, John Browning.
Well, if he's ever in the area, we've got John Browning memorabilia, articles, patents, things hung up all over the wall. Like I still wanted our building to be a tribute to him.
Was that the old the crank 50 cal? Like they had like the hand crank?
No, it was no, not that one. It was basically more or less kind of invented in here. The automatic weapon.
Got it.
It was because they were out shooting and they were watching a piece of grass sit there and go back and forth. So But yeah, the BR, sidearm, but a lot of those innovations and stuff they invented here, they might not have ever machined it here.
Right.
But a lot of his designs he sold to Colt and Winchester and a lot of these other companies.
What I love about the Workforce Agility Limited Series by Cornerstone was we talked to executives and customers all about skills. Cornerstone has a wonderful background in learning and development, training, etc. Their LMS is world class, but they've centered the business now, not just on that, like building upon that, but building upon how everything is moved to the skills economy. So check out the limited series called Workforce Agility, and you can get it wherever you get your podcast. And it's just a wonderful series where we talk to their executives on the shift of why. and also their customers that are using it. So check it out whenever you get a chance. Appreciate it. Wow, that's cool.
That's a weird sidetrack. I get excited about where I'm from.
No, that's pretty awesome. Yeah.
Well,
so now, is that a historic building then? Is it a
not
marked historic building?
Because I don't want to keep it on the historical registry and have those rules.
Yeah,
and if you look at the
can't
front
change
of the building,
anything.
Yeah, now versus before I bought it, it's night and day.
Yeah.
Right.
So, once it goes on the National Register, you can't touch it.
No.
I mean, so limited.
Yeah.
And so did you go to college?
I dropped out of college. Like,
very nice.
To brag, in my time at college, I got to be exceptionally good with Windows 98. I could probably I'm in the top 100,000 users of Windows 98, and they were teaching us on those computers because they didn't have the licenses for Windows XP, which didn't use a DOS kernel. And I went ahead and said, I'm going to graduate here, and then I'm going to come back. I don't want to do that. And so college dropout, couldn't graduate. I just left and said, well, maybe I'll come back once they've got Windows XP. I learned there's other things I could do that I enjoyed more.
Which school did you end up going to?
Weber State University here in Ogden.
Wow. So you didn't even leave Ogden to go to college?
Oh, no. Why leave? Your family's there? Done.
Well, yeah. So there was enough keeping me here.
So I've not been to Ogden, so I can't. Do you complain about traffic in Ogden?
No.
Okay.
No. It's very rare I complain about traffic.
Because sometimes, you can have a small town and then all of a sudden there's an influx of people and it's like now everyone's complaining because there's traffic.
Yeah.
Which isn't really traffic when you move to LA or Dallas or something.
Gosh, no. No, I go other places and I'm like, what is wrong here?
Why are there so many people?
Who are you and where are you going? I don't understand.
Yeah.
The thing about Utah that's so beautiful is all the national parks.
National parks, mountains. If I wanted to leave right now and be hiking, I can be on a trail in 15 minutes.
Yep.
I'm usually 15 to 30 minutes from any outdoor activity that I've got in mind. It's awesome.
I love
You're making a good pitch here.
Oh, no.
For me
to
leave Philadelphia, which is just the mecca of hiking and mountaining and
Utah in the summer.
Yeah.
Utah in the winter, I can't do. Utah in the summer, I could do.
Oh, absolutely.
I could do it.
Yeah.
So after that experience, so you get out. Now, what's the first job, or what's the first thing after leaving college?
Yeah. So I went ahead and did retail for a little bit and did optical. Yep. And I went ahead. You guys might have seen it in the 90s. But I ordered one of those infomercials on buying real estate, no money down with no credit.
Oh, yeah. That actually works, huh?
Well, no, I called a bunch of real estate agents when I was proposing something like that's illegal. That you can't do that in Utah. And then I thought, well, the infomercial can't be wrong. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get my real estate license. And it was total bunk. But they sold a lot of copies. And then I went ahead and I jumped into the real estate industry. And then I learned that could become a business, and it is a business.
Yeah. Commercial, residential, mixed?
Residential, yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit of mixed, but mostly residential, some development, stuff like that.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And then we got to where our real estate business, 2017, actually, we hit in Real Trends Magazine #1 for units sold in the two counties we're at, Weber and Davis counties.
Wow.
And it was only 200 homes sold.
Doesn't matter.
Business.
Still.
And, I had other people saying, how did you do it? Teach me. And so I'm coaching people and training them. And the thing that I accidentally happened into was back in 2012, I put an ad out on Craigslist saying, I need someone to help me market real estate. And Daphne from the Philippines replied, and I'm like, you're not in the US. How are you going to help me? And I met with her and I talked with her and I'm like, this might work. And it was working. And then we needed someone to go ahead. And when someone would show a property, we wanted feedback and we had to do that. So we started having all these jobs that we were looking at to provide better customer service.
Right.
And we started thinking, can we do that from the Philippines? Can we do that from the Philippines? And then when we sold 200 homes, people are saying, okay, how are you doing that? And what are your costs like and stuff like that? And teach me. And what I learned when I was meeting with a lot of these people is they couldn't do it that we were doing because they didn't have the team members supporting them.
That's right.
Right.
And
they were doing it all themselves.
Well, yeah. And I learned later that really the process for business is when you start a business, you have every job. And for it to go ahead and really that's owning a job or being owned by a job.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And when you get it to where it works whether you're there or not, it functions whether you're there or not. And if you were to leave for a year, it still keeps going. That's when you truly have something. And when I was able to make that distinction, I went, okay, well, I want to create that. And when I was working with a first-time home buyer, helping them find a home, that was a great feeling. It wasn't a feeling, though, that could compare with someone in the Philippines saying, hey, I'm working a job where I'm making the most money I've ever had in my life. I'm working from home. I've got more time with my kids. I've got people buying their first cars, renovating their homes. I mean, some people would go ahead and I'd say, what made you apply here? And I can remember one woman saying, because I knew that you were going to pay me and I'm just trying to feed my daughter. And when I started like getting very real with some of the challenges in the other parts of the world, I went, okay, so you have incredibly talented people in some parts of the world and there just are not jobs available. And then you've got people here in the US, they either A, they don't have a big enough budget to hire someone, or they're stuck and what it's costing them is they're away from their family more. Like
right.
they're the parents missing the kids' baseball game or ballet performance. And sometimes they're not the best person to do things. And I started looking at, you know what, it'd be really fun because I love this industry and I love business. Gosh, what would happen if I was able to help people and I was able to go ahead and provide staffing? I was able to do it at an exceptional level. And so that's what we put together. That's what we've built. And right now, if we look currently, we've got over 3,100 team members and we've franchised. We've got 29 locations. And we built a profit share plan where our wonderful cyberbackers, because there's no retirement in a lot of these third world countries, especially the Philippines, we've created a profit share program where we gave them retirement. And it's cool to sit back and be like, wow, we built something pretty amazing here. So
that's a great story. Tell us about Cyberbacker before we go. I want to learn about cyberbackers. What does that mean?
Well, so this is the easiest way I can go ahead and share this with you. My grandpa, when he had an electrical business, he had an assistant that would go get the mail, respond to it, handle billing, handle, invoicing, accounts receivable, accounts payable, stuff like that. And she was right there. And for me, what it is I've got my one main cyberbackers with me all day. And if I just go ahead and just right here, this is my assistant. Hi, everyone say hi to Jen.
Hi, Jen.
Hi, Jen.
And Jen is from the Philippines, and she's with me all day. And her biggest responsibility is she's my promise keeper. If I tell you guys, I'm going to do something for you right now, she's going to make sure I do it. She manages my itinerary, which every single day, it's here are your responsibilities, and here are your appointments. And this is how you need to show up. This is what you need to bring. This is what you need to talk to them about. This is what you need to do. And she helps me stay efficient. Right. And for a lot of people, when they're trying to keep themselves efficient and they're doing a million things at once, there's no center. And so more than anything, what it is, when people are doing it the very, very best, it's someone who's helping take care of the obligations. Like if I have an obligation that Jen can do, she just does it.
Right.
And then the tasks that maybe aren't the highest and best use of my time. Not saying that everything isn't, but I can't be everywhere at once. Right now, meeting with you guys, I can't answer my phone. And so someone else has to answer the phone. I can't go ahead and respond to an email, and some of them are pretty time sensitive. She can help. But it's taking all those things that it's an obligation, I must do this, or the return on investment of time is just not very high. That's what she does. And then her job is basically kind of like a talent manager. If I were, some famous musician, someone else is going to say, here's your tour dates.
Right.
And now this is what you're going to wear. And let's go ahead and let's put together your new album. And someone kind of helps manage and take care of that. Right. More or less, she's managing me so I can use my time the most effectively.
I love it. Why the Philippines? Outside the person, first person that applied.
Yeah.
How'd you get into it?
Well, so first we went ahead and I hired her, and I learned, because I didn't know. Before we hired Daphne, the first person we hired, if you would have handed me a globe and said, "Where's the Philippines?" I don't want to admit how bad I was at geography.
Yeah. It's on the other side of India.
Whatever. Yeah. So I learned that Philippines has been part of the United States, been U.S. territory for a little bit. People over there started learning English in kindergarten, and most of them spoke it anyway.
That's correct.
And that's why a lot of call centers and things were there, and a lot of those different things. And I looked at what is the average income of someone in the Philippines. It's less than $4,000 US per year.
Right.
And if they're going to work in the call center, because most of them go to school to be nurses, they end up working in the call center. Starting pay at a call center is $240 US per month.
Right.
And no awesome structured retirement.
Right.
And it's one of those things where I went, here's some people. Oh, by the way, massively educated people. And so I just started right there. And as I was progressing, one of the things I learned is for us to be insurable as a business, we had to be able to take action when we were hiring outside of the country if someone did something they shouldn't do. Because like in the US, if someone steals from you, you can call the police.
Right.
And you can say this person stole from me, so there's consequences. In a lot of these other countries, if they work with you, but you don't have something set up, an entity or something, they can steal from you all you want. You're never going to get it back, and they're not going to face any penalties.
Right.
And so I went ahead and I figured it out for me, and it was working. And then other people said, how are you doing it? I went, well, I'm hiring from the Philippines. And we've looked at other countries. We're still exploring, but one of the challenges we have is if we cannot ensure that if someone breaks the rules, there's penalties and consequences.
That's right.
We're not going to get insured to go in there. And you've got a lot of people that are hiring from all over the country and just taking them at their word.
Right.
And that might work and it also might not work. But then when we went ahead and we said, okay, well, how do we build a profit share program? We realized that when they helped us grow our company, through a lot of different things, they can go ahead. And the biggest thing we need help growing is we're always going to need more great people to get in business, stay in business. Well, as they help us with that, that increases their profit share, which is their retirement.
Yeah.
So
Vitamin Water Zero Sugar has great taste, zero BS, and obviously zero sugar. For those with zero room in their calendar, zero patience for slow walkers, those who get 0 hours of sleep on a Saturday night, have zero filter, zero given, and zero interest in grabbing a plain, boring water. Grab a delicious Vitamin Water Zero Sugar today.
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? But with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
That's how we put it.
Great. So, one of the things I like to talk about when we get into these discussions is motivation.
Mm-hmm.
What is the motivation that drives you day to day? I mean, you have a lot of ups and downs, right? You're working across 90 different time zones, and you're doing your thing. What's the motivation that keeps you moving forward?
So, if you're ever in my office, this is like a show and tell with you guys, so fun. But right over here and throughout the building, you kind of see on that wall, see all those little pictures?
We see them, yeah.
That's everyone in our company and their family. And if you go in the conference room that's outside of my office, there's more. And every single day when I look in, I've got thousands of faces looking at me that I'm committed to making sure that they have job security, that they go ahead and they've got stability, that they're able to go ahead and provide. What keeps me going ahead and just doing it is, number one, it's the right thing to do. And number two, it's doing it for these people that are willing to work hard, put forth the effort, and just show up every day as someone that we can bet our company on, and our clients can bet their company on.
How often do you visit the Philippines?
At least every year. When we were setting it up, it was about every month for a little bit in 2019. But at least once a year. And for me, it's because I'm a single guy and share custody of my son with my ex. And if I've got him, I'm not going to the Philippines. But when there's time that his mom gets him and it's uninterrupted parent time with her, that's where I go. And that's what I do. And we go over there and we donate a lot. We've got a nonprofit called Sharing the Good Life, which we want to support the kids in the Philippines because there's a lot of homeless kids out there and kids in rough situations. And I don't think any kid should ever be hungry or live on the streets. And so we're working to make an impact there, and that's a pretty big one. And then we always want to develop our leaders when we're there and give back to the community. So
people that are hiring some of the cyberbackers, where's kind of the low hanging fruit? Where do you see them start?
So ideally, with most people, it's giving up the tasks that you've got to do and they have to get done, but it's not worth your time. Like for me, and this is a bad one, but I'm just going to we're being honest here. I do not love social media. I don't love scrolling. I don't love reading it. I like to know what's going on with people. And there's an expectation that our company is going to be on social media. Well, I'm not going to do it. And so that's one of the things that you kind of have to have in today's world. And that's one of the things that for me, that's something I want to hire out. And then for a lot of professionals, when you go ahead and someone calls you, if they get voicemail, that's sometimes you have a potential client that's not even going to leave you a voicemail, or potential customer. If someone's answering, oh, and by the way, when I was doing it, here I am in real estate, driving down the road, trying to remember. And usually I'd remember 3 days later when I was laying in bed, and that was the thought, I forgot to call that person back, that was keeping me awake at night.
Right.
And when someone else could answer the phone, take the person's information, make sure they were handled. And that was something that, what's a receptionist worth? Well, unfortunately, it's a minimum wage job, but minimum wage here versus what that would be in the Philippines, that's an awesome paying job.
Right.
So those are the things you start with. Basically, what are the small little things that would, and also it would, elevate you in the perception of your clients. Someone else answering your phone, they think you're more important.
So, Craig, you'll laugh at this because in business school they teach this concept. It's called TVM, time value amount money. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of a parlor trick. It's okay. Your secretary can type 5 words a minute, and CEO can type 100 words a minute. Who should type the memo? And everyone raises their hands like, well, CEO. Like, no. Because the opportunity cost of that minute for the CEO is far more than it would be that it doesn't matter that the secretary or whomever the assistant can type slowly. That's a task, TVM, the time value of money. It's actually in the CEO's best interest not to type the memo. And it's a hard concept for a lot of people to get, especially doers, people that want to get in and do stuff and get stuff done. They take pride in accomplishment.
Yeah.
No problem with that. Take pride in accomplishment, but be focused on the right accomplishments.
Oh, absolutely. By the way, I'm guilty myself of that.
Oh.
Only every day.
Yeah.
There's something else I catch myself doing.
Hands are bloody. Yeah.
Well, you're the heart surgeon that after you do heart surgery, you're the janitor cleaning up because you have specific ways that you've got to know it was cleaned up. You've got to know it's been disinfected.
Yeah.
You to sleep good at night.
I feel like he's looking into. I think he's looking. He's looking into your soul, not my soul.
Oh no, I'm looking.
He's definitely looking.
He's judging you.
He's definitely judging, right? But it's true of all of us. It's true of all of us. It's not. It's everybody goes through the same. Especially if you're in business.
Yeah.
You go through this thing where you have set up this false idea of this process that you do, that it's got to be done that way, and it's like, no, it doesn't. like you did social.
Yeah.
That idea of, hey, it's got to be done. Okay, I'm not gonna change the people's mind about TikTok. Like, let's stop wasting time there. I'm just not going to do it.
That's exactly it. We've got those obligations. We kind of have obligations, and this is one of the things I love helping a lot of businesses with, to just be on the web and be searchable.
Right.
And then also when people are leaving you reviews and feedback, there's companies getting their butts kicked because they don't log in and look at that.
That's right.
That's someone's job. But there's not enough hours in the day for someone to be a leader of a company and do every responsibility, that is every obligation, and do it exceptionally well.
You can't do that.
Small business owners don't know some of the basic stuff like that. Like I was at a hamburger joint a couple of weeks back, and a guy had bought it. And the previous owner is Chop House Burgers. The previous owner had like 1,500 reviews. Like 4.5, 5-star, crazy reviews. Mm-hmm. And so they had their own. I'm like, you can merge those because you bought the business. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, okay, so let's go through this process. So I just sat down at the bar and literally with his iPad, like walked him through the process. I'm like, yeah, you can merge these. I mean, you got to prove that you own the business and all this other stuff. Like Google will make you go through some hoops. However, you just inherited 1,500 reviews.
Yeah.
And if they're 4-star better, that's pretty valuable.
Super valuable.
And if someone goes there and says closed or business sold or there's anything on there like that, it suffocates you. We live in a review-based economy now.
That's right.
Yeah. How do you put a value on? I mean, obviously they're extremely valuable. The reviews. I mean, where I eat, what I eat, where I go, what I buy.
It's all Google based.
It is. It's Google based. It's based on reviews. I don't even look at the comments. I just look at the stars. No. I'm just like, I'm gonna trust if it has 500 versus 50.
On Amazon, I look at the number of reviews. I don't look at the stars. I look at the number of reviews.
The number,
4,800 people reviewed this.
Yeah, it's probably a bot somewhere overseas with like 80 phones. I've seen that. But how do you, Greg? How do you put a value from a business perspective on a company that has 2,500 reviews for their restaurant? What does that do to the value of the business?
Well, I wish I could tell you I'm the expert for that.
Right.
I'm the one that would go ahead and get you a better answer by doing the research on it. I think it fluctuates, but if you look at just in someone's funnel of where and how they get business, for you to go ahead and have the process of getting someone who's maybe interested to a hell yes, I would say it's pretty essential.
Right.
Yeah. And if there's probably a math problem. Someone's better at this than I am. I don't doubt that. But right there, it's got to be a priority, because if you're not getting enough clients, most of the time it's because no one else is using you.
And in retail,
not converting enough.
And in retail or hospitality, it's all traffic. You got to have people.
If your restaurant has 100 negative reviews and you're a 2.5,
that's right.
You can
push down.
You can under new management that thing all you want. I'm not going there. I'm not going to do it.
No, and it takes you 5. No, what is it? So for one bad review, one star, it takes you 55 stars to go ahead and improve your rank. That one I know.
Wow.
And so you've got to go ahead and be on top of it with proactively getting great reviews. I know that much.
That
sucks. And you've got to be on top of responding to them when someone says something.
Yeah. That is fantastic. Now, with Cyberbackers, so two things that I want to kind of explore with you. One is there different levels of talent that you're bringing to bear? You have obviously certain skills.
Yeah.
So I could see it being verticalized in skills, but I could also see people needing more middle or senior level people at whatever the bid is. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, so if you look, we have always joked around that if you're wanting, your budget is to hire someone that is just you're going to pay them minimum wage, $7.25 an hour. As long as it doesn't require a license or physical presence, we can do that. If you want to hire me for $7.25 million per hour, I am very much available, and so is everybody else at that price. So you're walking that fine balance.
Right.
What you've got to do, though, first you look at the concept: does it absolutely have to be need a license or certification? And then second, does it need a physical presence? And so once we know those, then we break down a little bit further to what are the education requirements? What do we have that is something? Because sometimes we get a lot of people that they want us to do customer service over the phone.
Right.
If they've worked in the call center for 10 years, I know I've got someone that they're a seasoned veteran. They're going to do good. And then we work with our clients and say, this is what it's going to cost you, because this is that person's other work opportunities if they didn't work with you.
Right.
So, and you always want to be on the high side of it, because if someone knows, well, if I quit here and I go work over there and they can make more, then you're not setting it up right. But we go ahead and we're kind of really good at helping the client and the cyberbacker get that balance, because we want to help the cyberbacker have a great job where they know and they can do it. They can do a great job. We also want the client to know, we're going to be able to do it for them. And if there's a retention problem, it's going to suck.
Yeah. The ramp time to get somebody in and up, what does that look like? I mean, I'm sure
if it's someone going ahead, and we've got people right now that are constantly in training for things that are just common, like social media is pretty common, stuff like that. In some cases, we can have that today. But if you're like, I want someone from the Philippines, they need to speak Spanish and they need to be able to do artificial intelligence development using React, that might take me, 3 or 4 months to be able to find someone, because you're looking for, 1 out of a million. But on the average week, we'll typically get about 15,000 applicants from the Philippines.
Wow.
And then on the average week, we'll do about 5,000 interviews. And then of those, 200 or less go to a second interview.
May I ask you what technology you're using?
Well, it's people and Zoom.
He said people and Zoom. I love it.
Yeah, we only
Fair enough. No hate.
No, our hiring, we're 24/7. Our marketing, I've got one of the light rail transit, one of the main sources of transportation wrapped saying work from home, Cyberbacker.
Wow.
Nice.
We've got a lot because we've got to bring in we've got to bring in people that they can articulate. They can articulate what they're doing for the client.
Right.
They're high caliber talent. The big challenge, this is the one that keeps most people out, is their tech. If their tech isn't awesome, you could bet your company on it. So someone who shows up using a computer with Windows 98 that I worked on myself, or trying to do everything from a phone, isn't probably going to be the best hire.
Do you ship them? Do you upgrade them?
No, actually what we did was in Davao, Philippines, this is our first one, we launched a hub. And what that is it's cubicles, and it's a work area for people who don't have that tech. And then we can go ahead, once they've worked there for a while, we can help them invest in and get the tech. We got another good first.
Yeah, you got to have that. And it's pumped in a couple T1s, so connectivity is not a problem. Yep. Computers aren't a problem. Oh, I love that. Ryan, I know you got a question. Go ahead.
Yeah, where are you finding, so you do a lot of work with small business. And I know this is technically your journey, but it kind of is, right? I mean, you're working with small business. Where are they struggling the most right now?
Business owners?
Yeah, small bit, whether it's not necessarily finding talent, where are they lacking the ability to find talent? Where do they need the help the most?
Well, right now what we're seeing with a lot is their best people are being poached. Yeah. Because right now, if you look at our unemployment rates are low.
Crazy low.
Great people, truly great people, they're in high demand.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now is that because they're not getting paid enough at the company, or their loyalty's just not there?
It can be a lot of things, but usually what it is it's a recruiter finding them on LinkedIn and saying, have you explored another option?
Sure.
And once they go ahead and someone just asks them the question, have you considered exploring other options? Sometimes you have someone who has no complaints about a company and it takes great care of them.
Yeah.
Right. When they start having that conversation, that recruiter is looking at, how do I get you into this company over here? And their job is to help people get hired. But it's sadly, some of the hires that we're making is because their last person was poached.
That's right. I could see that. You mentioned franchise, that you've opened up a franchise model. Yeah. Is that a like a traditional franchise model, like a Pizza Inn franchise model, where you bring in an owner, they buy in, and you teach them the model and they do the bit? Or are you multi-locations?
Yeah, that's a lot of it. No, you went ahead and you said it. It's not like your regular restaurant franchise. If you go that route, it's the easy one.
Right.
But this is how you hire. This is what you do. And so our franchise owners are typically well-connected business people. And they're the person that you both have this, you'd be great. But there's someone who can sit down with you and say, if you want to improve your business, this is how you do it, because they know it.
Right.
And I would love to sit down with every entrepreneur in the United States, but with an estimated 34 million, I don't think that I have that much time in my life to do that. And so we need to find people that could sit down with them, whether it was hiring or whether it was just consulting, or whether it was, hey, I'm going to take your 2 Google review pages, we're going to merge them together, and I'm going to help you do that. But we just looked for that because those people, they're already pretty sought after. A lot of them are coaches and business owners, and people just go to them, and they've got great networks. And so they'll help people learn, and they'll help people understand this is how you hire virtually.
Oh, I love the
process.
I love that. So who thrives around you? What type of person thrives around you?
Oh, me as a person?
Yeah. Just you as a leader, you as a person, you as a whatever.
Big thinkers.
Yeah.
Yeah. because I've got a few different business interests. I bought a venue a couple of years ago, which me owning a wedding venue and me struggling to have any sort of a relationship, it's kind of a irony.
It's an irony.
Yeah, very ironic. Funny.
Well, hey, look, the best coaches often suck at the game, right?
That's right. No.
So, but being able to go ahead and go into that business, staffing it with the Cyberbacker, we've more than went ahead and doubled the events that the previous owner was having on their average year. And it simply comes down to this massively smart person.
So you're going to own Ogden at some point is really the you see the end game, Ryan? He wants to own the place. Yeah. This is the four walls. He's going to own all of it.
Every town has one of those families.
Yeah.
We have them. We have the Bergies. The Bergies have car dealerships. They have electrical. They have a lighting place. They have plumbing. They have this. Yeah.
I don't have enough family members for that. Typically, they have like more than a few.
That's right.
Yeah.
My uncle's concerned because he had all daughters that we're going to be able to keep the family name going,
Fair enough.
Like, you've got one son, get to work. And I'm like,
my name is dead. Yeah, my name's dead. I've got 3 girls, and that's it.
Uh-oh.
The line dies with me.
I have to pull a P.T. Barnum and
unless I've got an illegitimate child somewhere, which I don't, that I know of.
I got 2 boys. I'm good.
That's it.
Now, I did have a work ethic question because as we talked about your story with your grandfather, you've got an 8-year-old boy.
Mm-hmm.
How do you plan to teach him work ethic?
We've already started. There's a couple different things, and I think every parent needs to do this.
Yeah.
I can remember.
It sounded more like discipline, though.
No,
the way he said that
awesome.
was like,
I'm leaning in. I need some lessons. Go ahead.
As he walks through the background, sweeping the floor right now.
Get back to work.
Ryan, how did you know that was his first job? That was exactly what it was. But we also, because I wanted to teach him a little bit about what the future is going to be like. And so he loves video games, loves it. And so I showed him YouTube gamers and what that looks like and what they do. Mm-hmm. And I said, okay, if you wanted to do this, this is how you do it. So he's got an office right over there. And when he's here, he'll go in there and he'll make YouTube content. Right now, it's only available for family because we're keeping him safe and stuff like that. But it's funny how his little personality comes alive from just being the sweet kid to he's watched some YouTube with me. And now it's, hey, it's Gavman Gamer, your favorite channel. Let's go ahead and jump into a video game. And he's learning to present and he's learning to go ahead and do that. Because that's something, content creation, that's something that it can benefit him. So I'm finding out what does he already like to do and how can I teach him to use that to make money?
Right.
His work ethic's big, but thinking like a business owner and thinking like an entrepreneur, that's where I want him.
Yeah. So it wouldn't shock you if he comes to you at one point and said, yeah, I'm going to college.
No. And if he comes and says, I'm going to college and I want to be a lawyer, a doctor, something like that, cool.
Great.
But it's about helping him learn to be resourceful enough that he can go ahead and no matter what AI does or anything else, he's going to be able to find himself a job. And I think the big thing that does that is his ability to present.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can 100%. See that.
So, Greg, final question on my side here. I like to ask this question in reverse. We often say, well, what would you tell your younger self, right? What would your younger self, what would 10-year-old Greg tell however old you are?
Yeah.
I don't know how old you are.
We won't ask.
We won't ask. Yeah, we don't ask. What would your younger self tell yourself today? What advice would he give you?
I don't know if it's advice. I don't even think there's a way to go ahead and determine that I'd ever be on this path. I think the thing that 10-year-old self, because my 10-year-old self was very much, my best friend was in a wheelchair. I really enjoyed taking care of other people and helping them out.
Wow.
And he would just say, keep helping people. Because really, I think that's what it is more than anything else.
Yeah. All the other stuff sorts itself out.
Yeah.
The last question for me: where do you see this in 3 years? Let's just go out a couple of years.
So 2026, we're going to find out if I hired the right leaders because I'm going to have my first attempt at taking a year off. And if not, then I got to come back and I got to go ahead and we've got to recalibrate, retool, and make sure we've got it, because I can't have a company that relies on me.
Right.
And there's still a lot of things. You don't know the impact that you make on an organization until you're no longer there day to day.
Right.
And so that's the first test. It's going to be 2026. When you look at right now, 2027, where's it going to be? Well, the goal at that point is going to be hitting 100,000, creating 100,000 jobs, and hitting some of those bigger numbers, because we definitely know there's a lot of entrepreneurs out there that they just need the help.
Right.
And that's it. It's going to be pulling some of those. And I know there's some multipliers in our company we haven't met yet. And we're probably going to go bigger than the Philippines.
Right.
But
right. What are you going to do during the year?
Mostly go build houses. Ideally, Philippines, there's still a lot of people. There's millions of people that live in garbage because they're close to supply of something I can go take on the streets to sell.
Right.
And I just, like, if I can go ahead and do anything, it's just having people have a place to live, clean water, food consistently, and taking care of kids.
I've been to PI twice, 2 weeks in Manila and then 2 weeks north in Baguio. And I love Baguio. I mean, Manila's like every other big city in the world. Nothing truly unique. Although the ratio of karaoke bars, which they call it karaoke, like the Japanese, the ratio of karaoke bars to regular bars is crazy.
Oh yeah,
like you could throw a rock in Manila and find a karaoke bar.
It was actually invented,
and they can sing.
Oh my goodness! Like the
karaoke was invented there.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
That's
I thought
a trivia night question right there.
Okay, they can sing. Like you're like, hey, let's put on some Frank Sinatra. They're like, they already know that. They got that.
I mean, look at Journey. The lead singer is from the Philippines. I forget his name.
Yeah.
I mean, I go ahead and we go do karaoke, and I'm white guy embarrassing. Like it's bad. I'm not even on the same close.
Don't stop. It's horrible, and they're just laughing at you, not with you, at you at that point. Yeah.
Wow, this is my goodness.
You're horrible at this. Well, they grow up with it too. I mean, it's a part of the family life. It's like we're gonna get together on Saturday or Sunday, have meals, and we're gonna sing.
Yeah.
And it's insane. I mean, it's crazy fun, but it's also, as an American, you just kind of look at it and go, I don't understand what's going on here. Why do they know those songs better than I do?
It's one of those things where they have less, and because they do, they make more of what they have.
100%.
Little things like singing and dancing to bring happiness.
Yep.
You focus on it. It's important. And for us, we have so many distractions and new toys and retail therapy and Amazon and things that are making our life more convenient, but not happier. We've gotten away from a lot of those things.
Yeah. Well, brother, I could talk to you all day. I know Ryan could as well.
Likewise.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. We absolutely appreciate you and your journey.